Good morning, good morning. How you doing this morning? So, listen, what are you hanging on to? Again, I'm going to be doing some work from Panache Desai and some of the things that he has said, and some of his words are just absolutely amazing. You know, at some point, you have to be willing to leave behind the familiar in order to be reunited with your greater passion, purpose, and joy. We can't be limitless and be in the familiar. It's impossible because the familiar constitutes your comfort zone. At some point, you have to be willing to leave behind that which you know and that which you feel safe inside of. Take the risk because being a human being is just risky in itself, especially if you want more. So here's the thing that I see with people is you say you want more and you come on calls but you don't. The desire isn't there. So I say to people, listen, love who you are. Stop frustrating yourself. It just literally it drives you insane if you're not willing to step out of the familiar and do something different. Stop trying to drive yourself crazy with your mental head. Yeah, it's just going to drive you crazy. Get real with yourself. And some people don't like it whenever I get real with them. And I just go, before I even talk about anything that I do, and about how I can help, I check their desire because I don't want to waste your time and I don't want to tell you about something that's so amazing that's going to change your life when you're not willing to do something about it. And then you think it's the money. It's never the money. You're willing to pay for a holiday for a whole family, for a whole week, 2 weeks even, but you're not willing to invest in yourself. They could change your whole life and the life of other people with you as well. Just think about that because what's familiar is holding you back. It's the root cause of your inability to move forward, to move on, to move into more. And so, as it relates to a limitless living, there's no room for the familiar. Is there? There's no room for being comfortable. You have to continue. Oh, I can nearly speak this morning. Continually stretch upon beyond that which you know in order to embrace the greater possibility that awaits you. That's why you stay stuck in a job, you stay stuck in a relationship, you stay stuck in your financial situation or health because you're unwilling to know who you really are in the absence of your suffering. Yeah, that's right, isn't it? You become so familiar to your suffering, you don't know who you are without it. That is the truth. And I know that because I felt that myself. You're so familiar with feeling this way that if you'd stop feeling that way, who would you be? Wow, you're probably more afraid of who you are, who you truly are, than who you don't want to be. At some point, you've got to commit to the love, joy, and peace that awaits. Yeah? Here's the impact of letting go of the familiar. The impact is all of a sudden you broaden your ability to see and perceive the truth about life. You broaden your ability to love in an inclusive way, the ability to express who you are. There's no downside to letting go of the familiar. I know it's scary. I know you've been stuck in certain patterns and routines, maybe for 10, 20, 30, 40, or 50 years, but at some point you have to recognize that it's the repetitive loop that you're stuck in that is undermining the momentum that you have to move on. What would you really like to do? What would you really like to do? What was the best phrase I ever heard? It was Peggy McCall, and she said, make excuses or make money. So make excuses or have the life that you truly want. Is what you're doing right now everything that you really want? Is it? You know, the unfamiliar is a space of pure potentiality, but we're writing our future like a history book, aren't we? Stop writing history books. Think about it. You're just rewriting history when you're connecting the dots going forward. Steve Jobs says that you can only connect the dots going backwards. You cannot connect them going forwards. If you connect them going forwards, you're just rewriting history. Wow. But that's the thing. Do you want to rewrite history? Because you love your story. And you say, I don't love my story. But you do. You do. Whenever I made the decision to go and work with Bob Proctor and to pay the amount of money it was, I would have done anything. I didn't care what price they said it was. I needed something to happen. And then you say, well, but everything's out there for free. Go ahead. It's all out there for free. See how it's doing for you. Go on. See how it's doing for you. You're trying to do things on your own. It doesn't work that way. We all need support in moving forward. And that's what I'm here for. I tried to do it on my own. I was a real smartass. Oh yeah, I've got all the information. I know everything. There's only you holding you accountable. And eventually you do learn to do that. But when you try to do it on your own at the beginning, that's why you haven't got results. It's about being held accountable. Who's holding you accountable? You can do it to yourself. But a lot of you just don't want to move away from the unfamiliar territory. And actually, maybe the unfamiliar territory is asking for help. Maybe the unfamiliar territory is leaving behind your family and going on an adventure, going on a quest. I don't know, maybe it's changing a job. Maybe it's actually investing in yourself. Where have you become comfortable? Where are you having the same groundhog day? Where are you holding on to suffering? Where are you holding on to victimhood? Where are you allowing excuses and reasons to hold you back? You see, as it relates to transformation, everything that you really want is in the unknown. The divine in you is infinite. We can't quantify it. It can't be known. We can only experience it. We can only feel it. You can never know it intellectually. It doesn't matter how much reading you've done, how many qualifications you've done, everything. Until you really directly experience your divine presence and who you truly are, you'll never know the enormity of what you have to show the world. The familiar is that which keeps you from fully being and expressing yourself. I'm asking you today to have the courage to move toward that which is not familiar to you. Maybe that's happiness. Maybe that's peace. Maybe that's joy. Maybe that's looking for another job. Maybe that's leaving a relationship. Maybe it's even being good in your relationship. Maybe it's just stop complaining. Yeah? Imagine that. Imagine stop complaining. God, I know that myself. On the outside, never complain. But see on the inside, oh my goodness. I mean, even yesterday I was saying to myself, what's wrong with me? What a stupid question. You don't even get the answer to that because there's nothing wrong with you. And I realized myself that I was afraid of moving into unfamiliar territory. I can help you in that. We're all literally, nobody has the answer to everything. Even Bob Proctor says that at 86, he's just scratching the surface. But he moves into unknown territory every single day. He literally sets himself goals that moves him outside of his comfort zone. And he says to himself, oh, Bob, for goodness sake, what are you doing this for? You don't need this hassle. But he knows that you're either growing or dying. You're either growing or dying. You can't cruise because even cruising is going downhill. You think you're comfortable? and you are comfortable, well, actually, if you are comfortable, then you know that you're not cruising. If you think everything's okay for me, but I would like a little bit more, do something. Do something. Get out of your comfort zone. Let me tell you, when you have a call with me, if you want to be woken up, I wake you up. And sometimes it's really uncomfortable because I will be a direct mirror to you and show you. The unknown is where the power is that you're seeking. Embrace the unknown. Can't wait for you to experience what leaving behind the familiar does for you. What are you going to do today that's different? Imagine, somebody from a network marketing company might call you. Oh, I've had these calls over and over and over again. Do you know what? My experience of life and what I know about the universe, if something keeps calling, it's because you keep asking. So those troubles in your life that you have, you keep asking for them. And I know you don't ask for them up here, but you are asking for them. Whatever keeps calling, you keep asking for. So if somebody has called you about a network marketing event, will you just go and listen to it? Stop making prejudgments. Go into the unfamiliar. Because that's where the beauty is. That's where your freedom lies. And it feels, do you know, like learning how to drive a car? Like you can't learn how to drive a car just by knowing it up here, can you? You have to get in and experience it. You'd never learn to drive a car from your head. You've got to be in and experience it. And didn't it feel so unfamiliar? Like flipping how to do everything at the same time? That's just a new phase of your life as well. Go on, I dare you. What are you going to step into that's unfamiliar today? What is that? Exciting. Listen, have an awesome day, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye. Oh, listen, would somebody write me a little story and tell me what they do differently? It's all very quiet here in the mornings. See you. Bye-bye.